Why I don't give books star ratings anymore. So if you check out my Goodreads, you'll see as of late my books aren't rated. I would love to have gone back and changed all of the books I've read to no rating, but I don't know how to do that on Goodreads, so if you know, let me know in the comments down below. But I've come to this realization that I don't think we, or at least I, should be rating books or any medium I consume. Because frankly, it almost feels disingenuous for me as an individual to give a book a star rating. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to use an example of another medium that I adore. It is one of my favourite things in the world. Professional wrestling. You can see the belt there in the background. There is a man called Dave Meltzer in the wrestling community. He's basically known as the wrestling observer and the wrestling historian. Dave Meltzer, because he has this amazing wide knowledge and inside information on wrestling. Dave Meltzer gives star ratings to matches, and up until recently, I believe maybe a year or two ago, the wrestling community almost took those ratings as gospel, or at least large swathes of the community took them as gospel. So if he rated a match 5 stars, people were like, yes, that match is an instant banger. And hey, he isn't wrong sometimes. Most of the time he is pretty good. He is pretty right. A lot of the matches he gives 5 stars. He broke his own scale. He started giving matches 6 stars, 6.5 stars. Don't know how that works, but that's another reason I can go into. Doing so, he set this tone for this is what a good wrestling match is, but frankly that's very subjective, and it's the same with books. Right now I'm reading Steppenwolf by Herman Hayes. I don't know what star rating I would give it thus far, but I'll be honest, it's probably not going to be a high star rating, just at the point I am at the moment, but that's for a lot of different reasons. The English is slightly older, so I'm struggling a little bit with passing through the text. It is a bit of a Bildungsroman type story, which frankly I don't often enjoy. There are very few examples where I've enjoyed that, but my giving this book a 2.5 stars, maybe, that doesn't mean anything to someone else who was from the 60s who might have given it a 5 stars review simply because it's more familiar to them and their time. It's a very personal thing. Your connection with books is very personal, and I don't think attributing a number to that is appropriate or even feasible, because those numbers could mean widely different things. If we look at my bookshelf, you can't see most of my books, but if I'm looking here and I'm looking at a Murakami book, to say, I'll give a Murakami book 4 out of 5 stars. You would think, wow, that's a really great, almost perfect book. And then I would give Malcolm X's autobiography 4 stars out of 5. Those are very different reasons I'm giving those things 4.5 and 5 stars. And it's very difficult to kind of put together this reason or put together a algorithm for determining what you think is a actual 5 or 4 star book. Because frankly, for me, a high rating book is simply one that resonates with me and one where it makes me feel something. But to Joe Bloggs, it could be completely different. A 5-star book to Joe Bloggs could be something that is linguistically challenging. Its use of themes and foreshadowing and whatnot could be the reason they give a book 5 stars. There's no way to set that, and I think using star ratings for anything, in particular books, is a very difficult way of presenting a book to someone and telling them to read it, because I could give thousands of books 5 stars, but Jane Doe could only like one of those books, and they would only rate one of them 5 stars, and the rest would give them 2 stars, because it's very personal, which is why I feel as a creator, or someone with a platform, albeit a very small one, hey, let's help grow that, I feel it's irresponsible to give something a rating at all, because it's just an arbitrary number at the end of the day. And frankly, most places that allow you to rate books and movies and stuff don't even let you get very nuanced. Like, if I'm reading something and I'm like, wow, this is a really good book, but I don't think it's a 5-star, I don't think it's a 4-star, but I don't think it's 4.5 either. I think it's 4.25, or I think X book is 2 3/4 of a star. You don't get nuance from star ratings. Whereas a review, something like this, what I do on my channel, where I'm talking to a camera, or if I'm writing something out on my blog, which I've not updated in months, maybe even a year, something like that, I think is a far more useful tool for a reader, a viewer, a gamer, anything where you're consuming media, because you get to at least understand the thought process behind the writer, narrator in my case, and you'll kind of understand why they gave it that score, and then from that, with that context, you can then go off and say, okay, Sully really loved Steppenwolf, but these are the reasons why he loved Steppenwolf. However, I'm not a fan of any of those things that Steppenwolf did, therefore I'm not going to read Steppenwolf. It is far better than giving a star rating to something and then additionally writing the context, because frankly, let's be honest, we're humans, and in our current society we want things to go fast, so you're just going to look at that number, you're going to look up at 4.5 stars, like, damn, banging book. Then you read it and you're like, I wasted a day's worth of my time reading this book that I did not enjoy. And frankly, there is so much media out there. I would love everyone to read everything and get out of their comfort zones and do all the things and read all the things. But frankly, we don't have the time, so I want you to read something you are going to enjoy. And then you can rate your scale on, these are the books I enjoy, and these are the books I enjoy more than the other books. It's just a very arbitrary, disingenuous scale, and that's why I don't give books star ratings anymore. Do you still give book star ratings? If you do, what do you rate Steppenwolf? Because I don't know if I'm going to finish Steppenwolf. It might be one where I'm going to end up listening to it on an audiobook. But hey, if you like Steppenwolf or you want to check out, so I don't really feel like I've sold Steppenwolf very well, but I'm going to put a link to it in the description down below. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on stars. I actually, you know what, I would attribute my thought process behind thinking about stars and star ratings to a creator named Hazel, whose content I discovered like 2 weeks ago, and I've binged like most of their content, which is just amazing because they do video essays that are like up to 2.5 hours long. They're great. A lot of the time they're surrounding anime, which is another one of my loves, which is something else I've stopped giving star ratings to. On my anime list, I've stopped rating shows. I've changed all my ratings to no ratings, and hey, if you can figure out how to give no ratings to old books on Goodreads, let me know, and follow me on Goodreads. Like, subscribe, share the video, and don't give it a star rating, but tell someone to subscribe.